Akar Prakar presented an art exhibition of sculptures by Prodosh Das Gupta, the famed sculptor and former Director and Curator of the National Gallery of Modern Art at Triveni Sangam in Delhi recently. Curated by art critic and author Uma Nair, the show titled Translating Modernity traces a timeline that runs from 1947 to 1990. Some of his beautiful art pieces on display included 3 large and 21 smaller sculptures form the core of this epic suite, including one of his famous works, Surya Mukhi.
Prodosh Das Gupta is an important figure in the growth of modern Indian art. He is also an important institution maker in the sense that he worked in the National Gallery of Modern Art. So in both roles, and then he was a thinking person. All these roles, he's very important, and I'm so pleasantly surprised and happy that a show like this, featuring his works, has been arranged. It is very interesting to see how he combined the plastic nature or the plastic trend in the West with the Indian heritage and created an idiom which is very much his own. And I think there are very few sculptors who have done this, and he's surely one of them.
Prodosh Das Gupta trained in sculpture at the Royal Academy of Arts and LCC Central School, London, and the École des Grands Chemins, Paris, after completing his initial studies in sculpture at the Government School of Art and Craft, Chennai, and the Lucknow School of Arts and Crafts. Prodosh was honoured with several awards and accolades for his contribution in the field of arts. In 1955, he was elected as Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, London. In 1957, he joined the National Gallery of Modern Art, New Delhi as the director. Later, he also served at the Lalit Kala Academy in its General Council and Executive Board. His sculptures reflect his interest in art history, his inherent perceptions of the materiality and density of bronze to examine the role of everyday reality and the human narrative to create contemporary moments that defined his evolution over a period of more than 5 decades.
What is unique is that his position in terms of the time. So when in 1937 he went to Paris to study, he went to London and Paris, and he came back and he realized that at that time there was a mood of nationalism in the country, and there was also a mood to go back to the roots, to go back to folk art, to go back to tradition. He was actually a bridge between that thought and the thought that today we are global citizens, today we can take inspiration from anywhere in the world. So why should we only limit ourselves to going backwards to our own history? Yes, that's important. We will do it. We are Indians. We are going to take that stance. But he really bridged that gap.
Of course, as a French, I knew his work because he has linked with France, he has studied in France, he has explored many things, new aesthetics in France. But he still is deeply Indian in his aesthetics. He keeps traditional traditions in his content, shapes, way of working. So it's very interesting to see at the time, because it was very early on, you know, he was in the late 30s in Europe, to see how key this artist is in Indian art history. He really opened up new possibilities for others, to explore new ways of working.
The art show was also represented through his writings and musing on his own sculptures, reflecting his undeterred passion for arts. Prodosh's sculptures are reminiscent of a time when modern Indian art was radically breaking free of its earlier colonial and nationalist antecedents and evolving its own free will and nationalist credentials. His legacy has influenced generations of sculptors. Even today, his trademark style continues to hold high significance for art historians, connoisseurs and collectors. Vandana Kumari's report for Rajya Sabha TV.